Well, hello, I'm here with Douglas McLagan from Child Welfare Scheme in Nepal. Douglas, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's such a pleasure to have you here. You know, it's such an honor to have this opportunity to interview you. So we're going to get right into it. Douglas, I want to know, what was it that preceded you making the decision to begin this, 23 years long journey?
Well, I think the thing is that we all have a certain passion, and I was very fortunate in my life as a child, the way I was brought up, and trekking through Nepal like so many of us do. You see the poverty in front of you, and then when a beautiful young child dies unfortunately and totally unnecessarily, that hits you, and that's really what triggered something in me to change my way of life.
Got it. So it was really in that moment, I understand just from reading a little bit about the background, it was really in that moment. Tell me, what was it? What was that experience in that moment for you that really moved you to, sell your home and transform your life to serve other people?
Well, I think when you are very fortunate and you see a desperate mother who hasn't got anything, but the only thing that she really has is her lovely baby, and that means everything for her. And here you are with everything, but you can do nothing. And I think that's when the reality comes to you and say, well, hang on a minute, there are things bigger to life than just a car or just an extra house that you may not need. What about actually getting the feeling that if you give, you actually get more back? Wow. So you could actually say it's selfish, really, but that's really what triggered it off. Seeing that face and the anxiety of that mother and that helpless little young girl, and I could do absolutely nothing. And then having that recall of that face and anxiety, trekking for the next day 6 hours, and the next day for another 6 hours, and then thinking, I've got to do something. I don't want that to happen to somebody else.
Yeah, I got that. I'm also really curious, for those people who, let's say right now in Europe, are watching this refugee crisis, I think many of them feel powerless in the face of what's occurring. And someone like you, this is 23 years ago, you noticed something. What was it that really, you think people could do to make a difference in the life of someone else, be it big or small?
Well, I think the first thing is that, we all like to have satisfaction and fulfillment. And really, we have a little philosophy that even if you don't have money, wealth as we call it, or if you have a little bit of common sense, wisdom, or if you are just willing to work, www.giveback. It's not a World Wide Web, it's my World Wide Web, that everybody actually can give back in their own way. But you have to feel passionate about it. There's no point forcing the issue.
Right.
But everybody has that within themselves, and you cannot deny when you see somebody suffer. I mean, is it right to just look the other way?
Right.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
And that fulfillment that you get, when you wake up the next morning, actually it does make you feel better.
Sure.
It gives you energy.
Sure.
It gives you power. So that's what drives me.
Awesome.
And everybody can have that.
Absolutely, I agree. And I think, it really starts with being empathetic, standing in the shoes of another person to get even just a fraction of what their experience is, what suffering that they're going through, to put yourself there and then take some action, any action, like you said, either large or small, to make a difference in their life.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what is it that makes a difference? Because we can see all of that. We can see the awards and all, what's been acknowledged on the international level, but what on a day-to-day basis do you see really makes a difference? Is it feeding people? Is it education? Like, what are the things that actually make a difference in people's lives?
Well, when with our new implementing organisation on the ground in Nepal, which CWS here in Hong Kong supports, Right for Children, I think one of the most important things is just don't turn away or blind eye. The people and a child on the street, what they really want is respect. And that thing makes a massive difference to you. But even if you can't give, but if you just respect that person, sit down with them, give them a hug around the shoulder. And
I was going to ask you, how would that look? If I wanted to take an action to demonstrate my respect or acknowledge someone's existence, how would it look? Like you just sit down with them, or?
Absolutely. I think, I'll give you an example is that sometimes, when you see children sleep on the street and early morning at dusk, we were filming kind of incognito, and you saw people, walk past, grown-up people that had money, and they'd stop, they'd look at those children, and they'd go, and they'd walk on. But what about doing something else? What about, giving these kids a bit of respect, having the time to talk to them and say, what would you like to change in your life, and how can I help you? Even if it's just that listening and that acknowledgement that they're human people and they're worth listening to, I think that makes a big difference.
Absolutely. Yeah. I am 100%.
And it costs nothing.
Yeah, it costs nothing. It's just your intentionality that you get another human being's world.
Exactly.
And even there's not something that you can do that will radically shift their situation, maybe there is, but even one small step in that direction, just listening to them, having them be heard.
Exactly.
I think I can absolutely see how that would be having a huge impact. Yeah, from the heart.
Yeah.
So, Douglas, this is amazing. What now can people do to support your efforts in Nepal with Children Welfare Scheme?
Well, I think, that obviously a lot of people think, is it only money, or can we give goods? I think one of the big problems with a landlocked country like Nepal is that, we need to support the economy, and if we try to gather second-hand items, like was the case with the earthquake, for instance, when it hit, and all of this material was stockpiled at the border and at the airports, and it couldn't get into the country, so that's not always the best thing to do. But with our organisation here in Hong Kong, Child Welfare Scheme, we do lots of events. So by participating in the events like we have at the Lama Fun Day, by participating there and showing your support there, running in the race, or joining in the bands, or just enjoying yourself on the beach, playing volleyball, that's a big support. But also, of course, donations are always.
Absolutely.
And sometimes just coming to Nepal and seeing what we do, and then returning with that knowledge, that wisdom, and then being an ambassador for CWS. Fantastic. So there's lots of different ways is the answer.
Great. Thank you so much for coming on today and talking with me, Douglas.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.